Everybody's outgrowing you on
Oh,
TikTok right now because you don't know what to.
good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? It is Dynamite Show once again, guys. We have a great show for you tonight. We got some great guests, and we wanted to play that great song, like Dutch Blackfeather just said. Yeah, that's Up Church. That's Up Church and Adam Calhoun. Exactly right, guys. That's just a song that we enjoy listening to. I know it's got some crazy language and stuff like that in there, but you know what? I don't pay attention to that because of the meaning of the song. For me, and sometimes everybody has a meaning for a song. But guys, this is the stream. This is the Dynamite Show, guys, entitled Old School. And we asked the question, are you old school? Are you old school? We want to know, are you old school? I know I am. I'm old school. If you want to, I don't know if anybody has paid attention to the thumbnail for this video, this live stream tonight, but you see that white barn and a couple outbuildings there beside it? That's taken just a little bit, from where I live. That's a nice little barn that someone owns. That barn to me represents old school. That's why I incorporated that picture in that thumbnail and entitled this stream Old School. We got some good people with us tonight. I've already seen them chiming in, and we're going to acknowledge them here in just a little bit. We got some guests tonight, too. Backstage with me right now is my good friend, Soup Bean. We'll introduce Soup Bean to you here in just a little bit. He is my neighbor because he is from right here in Kentucky as well. Not too far from me as a crow flies, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, too. So, just everyone, when Soup Bean comes on, just welcome him and with open arms, because this is a positive vibe community, not like some others we know. And, we just like to have fun on a Friday night. Ain't that right, Dutch Blackfeather? But we'll go ahead and introduce everyone that's here tonight and acknowledge you. Dutch Blackfeather's with us, of course. He's early. He was here from the beginning, but he probably wasn't here before Soup Bean. I've been talking to Soup Bean for a while backstage. There's Art and Adventure with Tasha. Good to see you, Tasha. I'm sure Miss Tasha will be going live sometime tonight. She goes live almost every night. I do enjoy coming in her live stream sometimes and hanging out. So appreciate you being here, Art and Adventure with Tasha. Check out the truck stop, if you will. Po' Boy Adventures, another Kentuckian. He's right here with us tonight. Good to see you there, Po' Boy. Outdoors with Big Matt, the big Texan. What you say, son? How you doing, Big Matt? He's here with us. Good to see you. Good to see you, Big Matt. Big Matt has grown tremendously since he has started YouTube. So has Dutch Blackfeather. Dutch Blackfeather, he's a known person there on Instagram. He's well known there on Instagram, but he started YouTube not, a few months ago, and he has climbed tremendously, and he's on the edge of 1,000 subscribers. So if you don't have Dutch Blackfeather, hit him up, give him a subscribe. He throws some great content out there, and he is throwing out some content right now on bedrolls. And that's some interesting stuff because I enjoy, using some type of bedroll kit. Haven't really done it a whole lot. Really none too much, really. But I have, I know what it's all about. I do understand what it's all about and how it helps you bring in a minimal kit to your camp or whatever it might be. And that's the thing is if you have a permanent camp or a semi-permanent camp with a cache there maybe of some things already, then you don't really need to take a whole lot with you, right? But I hope everyone's having a good night tonight. I hope everyone had a good week, whether it be a work week or whatever it might be. We always enjoy it, and this is the place to be on Friday nights, guys. From now on, because you know why? You know why it's the place to be. Why this is the premier live stream on Friday nights? Because it's free. It's free. You don't have to pay to watch it. Sometimes you might have to be a subscriber, but tonight I don't think you do. I think we put subscriber only mode off on tonight, but that's all right. Sometimes we do have it there. Let's see who else is with us tonight. There is my friend Tom Keltish. Haven't seen him in a while. Do appreciate you, Tom Keltish. Tom Keltish and Everything Outdoors brings in a lot of content. Me and him met probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And he said, hell yeah, he's old school. Yeah, there you go. Good to see you, Tom. I think everyone here tonight probably is old school or has a little bit of old school in them. It all depends on your generation, right? But all of us are pretty much close in proximity of the same generation, and that's what being old school is all about. The old ways of living. That always intrigues me. I know, these days, you got to have a water heater most of the time, or some way to heat water. You got to have refrigeration. You got to have, an oven, a way to cook your food indoors, this, that, and the other. But years ago, they boiled their water or whatever it was to take a bath, this, that, and the other. Sometimes they might just add a little bit of hot water to whatever was in there. I mean, that's just what I'm saying, old school. That intrigues me, even though a lot of it isn't incorporated nowadays. It still intrigues me, and that's the old ways of living. That's what I like. I really do. Miss Debbie Gronlin has joined us tonight. Good to see you, Debbie. All the way from South Dakota, am I correct? Or is it North Dakota? I know it's one of the Dakotas. Please forgive me if I'm wrong when I guess the first one, but, sometimes things just run together, and I blame that on brain fog from the big C word, the big COVID. I know we're probably not allowed to say that on YouTube, but you're probably not allowed to play the song I played, but still, we're all good. Outdoors with Big Matt is throwing some links out. Good deal, Big Matt. Appreciate you there. Miss Natalie Blackfeather is as well. She's with us tonight. Miss Natalie, if I haven't said hello to you, hello, Miss Natalie. Yep, Southeast getting hit by the storm. Yep. Hurricane, tropical storm, things like that. It happens. Guys, we got 7 with us. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, we always like to let everyone know. And make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you're just here to say hello, we ask you to maybe go back sometime this week and, maybe watch the replay of it or check out some things that you might have missed, because you never know. But last week we did not live stream. We did not have a Dynamite Show. Yes, Miss Debbie said South Dakota. And she said she is old school. That's how you say it if you're from East Kentucky. You say school. You don't say school. And I'm sure Soup Bean would understand this too, but a lot of people say school. That's just how it is. That's the dialect here in this state. But, yep, Miss Natalie said it was good to be here. Well, it's good to have you here as well. It's always good to have my friends Natalie and Dutch Blackfeather here with us. And we have gotten to know them as well over the last year or year and a half, something like that. And, it just keeps growing and growing. Good community, good relationships, friends. That's what I'm all about. I want this channel to grow. I want this brand to grow, Frontier Survival. And, it will grow. It has grown tremendously with the help of others. I'm not going to deny that. And I appreciate the help. But we're growing here. We're growing on Facebook. We're growing on Instagram. I mentioned to Dutch Blackfeather earlier today in private messaging about how I just hit 650 followers over there on Instagram. Just started Instagram not too long ago, long after I started anything else. And we're growing over there. It took a little while. It took a little, you had to take out some trash, this, that, and the other. And, we got things done. So Instagram is looking good. Frontier Survival Facebook page, the brand page over there on Facebook has hit 1,500 followers this week. And that was a tremendous accomplishment right there. I do appreciate each and every follower that I have, and I try to post content that they might like or like. Mr. Soup Bean, he's a follower there, and he's a member of Frontier Survival Friends as well, and that's doing good as well. There's Miss April right there. I was wondering where you might have been. There's Nature's Wild Playground. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, and that's another great moderator there as well. But Soup Bean and Nature's Wild Playground, Miss April, are both great moderators there on Frontier Survival Friends, along with a lot of other great people. Miss Debbie Gronlin, if I'm not mistaken, she's a group expert over there. I decided to give her that if she wanted to accept it, and she did. So we do appreciate Miss Debbie, Soup Bean, and Miss April as well, Nature's Wild Playground. And, of course, Nature's Wild Playground has a great group over there on Facebook, too. And that's what we're all about here. We're just talking about, this live stream is just a Friday night live stream where we will bring you some different topics that has to do with the outdoors. It's not always about survival, even though that's the niche we kind of, pigeonhole ourselves into. But, we don't care. Sometimes we'll go out and we'll bushcraft. Sometimes we'll go out and we'll talk about, preps and things like that. Here recently we've been doing a lot of presentations where we've been talking about a lot of prepping techniques and things like that, and what they did during the Great Depression and how that might come about soon. A lot of us would probably agree with that. But, it's a good place to be on Friday night. I think some of y'all will agree with that. Hopefully you will. There's Stiltner Outdoors. Mr. Chris, good to see you there. How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Another good member of our group over there on IG and YouTube and this, that, and the other. And that reminds me, sometime soon we'll have another big announcement that we can't talk about right now, but we will be soon, shortly. Within a week, 2 weeks, maybe something like that. So you'll find out. Big announcement. That's all we're going to say about that right now. But you know how we always like to do, towards the beginning, acknowledge each and every one that might come in here during the beginning and give you updates, channel shout outs, viewer shout outs, this, that, and the other. It's all good. I guess everyone can hear me all right. I guess you can. I haven't asked that yet, but we'll make sure. I'm sure I haven't been told yet that, hey, I can't hear you. Yep, Dutch Blackfeather, I agree with that. Instagram is an awesome platform for positive outdoor community building. Yeah, I have no complaints from anyone that has started following me, and I do appreciate each and every follow. And I follow a lot of great channels over there. Yourself, Bourbon Bill, Sparrow Bushcraft, the whole entire team. And it's great. It's great. And, we'll have some more of the team members here tonight, I'm sure. Along with, Chris there of Stiltner Outdoors and yourself, Dutch Blackfeather. A lot of great stuff. So, check out all the channels. If you're a viewer and you like some outdoors content, there's a lot of great channels in here. Tom Keltish, if he's still with us, that's a great channel. It's everything outdoors, so, you can't go wrong with that. Tom Keltish and everything outdoors. Great channel there. I've known him for a long time, or at least I feel like it's a long time. Maybe it really hasn't been, and I know it really hasn't been, but, a couple years, and with what things are going on in the last 2 or 3, 4 years in this world, it's good to find, good friends, whether it be, virtual friends or if you meet them in person. But see, we mentioned how we didn't live stream last week, and that was because we went to our annual festival here in Morgan County, Kentucky. I don't really care to say where I'm from. I mean, if you come up here, come up this holler, and come to me and, try to do something because I told you, where I'm from, you're gonna meet something. Just listen to the words of that song that we played earlier. But anyway, nothing said about that. But the Morgan County Sorghum Festival, we went to that over the weekend, last weekend, and it's an annual thing. And the last couple years, it wasn't a full-fledged festival. I mean, the first year during COVID, there was no festival, and last year it was just a minimal type festival, but it was full-fledged this year, and things were good. All kinds of booths and vendors and selling homemade type crafts and this, that, and the other. Good place to be, and there is a flea market type stuff, and we wanted to show this off here just real quick before we bring on our guests. But I know our guest, he likes to do a lot of hiking in and around our fine state here of Kentucky. And this find, Dutch Blackfeather knows about this. I mentioned him, but we found this. I don't know if I can get that all on screen there, but this is an Outdoor Products pack. It's a hiking pack. I don't know, not sure how many liters it is, and it's not really tactical, and it's not traditional type pack of no means. It's not canvas. It's not even denier, I don't think. But anyway, it's an Outdoor Products backpack. It is probably, I would say, at least 50 liters, maybe more. All kinds of pockets in there. I don't know if you can see it. But wait till I tell you what I paid for this bad boy. And it's, it's got straps and places to, strap things down and whatnot. Nice pockets, nice zippers, pretty decent zippers. And it's got a hard frame to it. Pretty good straps. Let's see if we can turn around here and show these straps off. And we hope we're not boring you too much, but we're trying to show this off the best we can. Pretty decent padding in there. And it's got a place to put a water bladder as well. But that pack right there, that's an Outdoor Products. Guys, $10. Bought that pack. I asked them. I said, what do you take for that? There was no hesitation. They said $10, and I said, sold. Guys, there's one problem. Only one problem I've seen in this top pouch right here, zippered pouch. The zipper's gone. The pull's gone. All of it's gone other than the teeth of the zipper. It's still there. But that's an easy fix. That's the only thing wrong with it. Out of all the pockets, all the things and whatnot, the zipper's gone. On that, and it was $10. So that's cool. I mean, I thought it was a good find. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat just a second here. Epic stuff happening soon. Exactly right, Dutch Blackfeather. People will know soon enough. Big Matt said, I'm your eating supper. What? What are you eating, buddy? What do you got for supper? Oh, Po' Boy Adventures is asking about beekeeping and honey harvesting. I don't know if there's anybody in here that keeps bees or not. I have never got into that myself. Now, I work, everybody knows this, at a True Value hardware store, and we sell beekeeping gear, products, things like that. And we got beekeepers that come in, so I know some. But, we can get some information if we need to. When these guys keep coming in, I can ask around. But I don't know if there's anybody in here in the chat that keeps bees. Now, Miss April might. I know she does a lot of homesteading type stuff. She cans her hind end off. I know that. Stiltner Outdoors said the storm is moving through here right there in Virginia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You hoping you don't get kicked off? Well, I hope you don't either. I hope it's not, a devastating, if anything. There's Miss Cecilia, my friend up there in Canada, Raven Cat Homestead. Cecilia, good to see you there. Hello to you, Miss Cecilia. Po' Boy is asking, is there a difference in raw honey and just honey you harvest from a hive? I have a jar and it says raw honey. Just curious. Thank you, Dutch Blackfeather. He says great looking pack. It is a great looking pack for $10, right? Okay. Let's see. Dutch Blackfeather, up, good looking pack. Oh, guys, there is Stoker Matic. He's with us with us tonight. Good to see you there, Stoker Matic. Boy, I'm stoked that you're here. I love how that he uses that as his catchphrase. I mean, because that's his name, Stoker Matic. Great channel. The whole military type. That's what I really enjoy. That that's my thing. I myself, even though I'm not career military, I did serve in the U.S. Army as a 54 Bravo. 54 Bravo. I think it was chemical operations specialist. I was in Fort McClellan, Alabama, at basic training. So hooah. I love being in the Army. Yeah, it really helped me. It helped me because it helped me become a little bit stronger in my manhood, if you know what I mean, at that age. At around 18, 19, 20, 21. Good times. Stoker-matic. Stoked that you're here, brother. Okay, let's see what Miss April has to say here. She says common types of honey and their properties are as follows. Okay, raw honey comes straight from the hive and is available in filtered or unfiltered forms. And regular honey, pasteurized, and may contain added stuff. Okay, I see what you're saying. Thank you, Miss Natalie, for posting Stoker-matic's channel link there. Good deal. And sugars, pure honey, pasteurized, but contains no added ingredients. All right, good deal. Yep, that is a great find, exactly. Okay, there's our other guest that will be with us tonight here in just a little bit. She says she is on her way home. We'll chime in soon with Soup Bean. No problem. We'll welcome you in here, Miss Deanna. Yep, $10 is a cup of coffee from the commissary. Yep, I ain't no doubt about that. Yeah, and those vape pens cost a lot too in some places. Because I know a lot of Department of Corrections places has banned tobacco use, but for some reason they let people use the vape pens. But we're off topic, so we'll get back on. Yep, those packs aren't bad. You're right, Stilton Outdoors, because we'll get on this for just a second, and we've talked about this before. I myself am more of a budget-friendly gear type person. And if I can find a good pack, decent pack at the big box store, then I'm going to get it. If I can find a good pack, decent pack at a flea market, I'm going to get it. And I did that. I could use that pack for things, right here around the house, around the property, around the permanent, semi-permanent camps. I can pack more stuff in that I can keep at those permanent camps or semi-permanent camps. You know what I mean? That's a nice pack. I got big packs. I got a big Alice pack right here behind me. But, $10 is $10, and that right there, I know brand new costs more than $10. So I call old Heath here a smart guy. What do you think? Yeah, and me now in southwestern Virginia. I understand that. What's that? Oh, Miss April said she had to split up the answer that somebody was asking about the beekeeping. It wouldn't let her do a text that long. That's wild. Huh. Dutch or Pobo Adventures talk about how he was just curious as to what might cause pure honey to taste bitter. Wonder if it was something to do with the type of flowers the bees was getting their pollen from. Hey, that would be that would make you think so, right? You never know. Let's make sure no one. Okay. Look here. Here's Edge 29 Chaos Preparedness, a channel I just met not too long ago. Appreciate you coming in. I know I recently subscribed to that channel. I think I actually seen that channel in Dutch Blackfeather's latest live stream this past Sunday night. So I thank you for stopping by the Frontier Survival Dynamite Show. We appreciate you. You can call me Heath, and we'll talk about anything preparedness-wise or survival-wise or bushcraft-wise, whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about deer hunting, bow hunting, whatever. We're an outdoors-infused live stream right here. Are we in the outdoors right now? No, we're not. We're not. But we have been in the outdoors. Most of our content comes from the outdoors. This live stream does not. But either way, it's all good. Brother Dutch, he said he's old. His body's beat up. But he lives an honest life and wouldn't change that. That's right, brother. Same here. Glad you did stop by. Glad you did. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest. We've caught up with the chat here. But my brother, Soup Bean, right here, we've met through social media, the Book of Face, and he's a good friend. He's as like I said, as a crow flies, we're not too far away. But we're right here in Eastern Kentucky. Let's see if we can bring him on here just a second. Let me get some settings right here just real quick. There we go. All right, brother Soup Bean. Oh, hold on just a second. Let me unmute you. There we go. Hello, how are you doing?
How are you, brother?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Good to see you. I appreciate you being here. We've talked all week about you coming on, and we've promoted this a little bit there on the group page and this, that, and the other. And we do appreciate you. We know you're an outdoorsman. And if you want to start, go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about, I guess your history and like I said, I know, we're both from Eastern Kentucky, and we know a lot about what it's like to be a Kentuckian. But you can just introduce yourself if you will.
Yeah, well, I go by soup bean. I'm old school. I'm old, and been to school. I reckon I'm old school. Yeah, I live right here in the mountains, little southeast of Heath. I'm Heath. I'm getting some feedback here, brother.
Well, let's see. Not sure why.
Uh, okay, we're good now.
Okay.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, we're good. Okay, yeah, yeah. Way the crow flies, I'm not probably. Well, we're probably about maybe 50, 60 miles one another, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Probably
I think
50.
I think if we'll put it this way, both counties that we live in, the county you live in, the county I live in, are both in the Daniel Boone National Forest. I know for sure.
Okay, yeah. You'd be north of me then, yeah.
I think I am
Uh,
north of you a little, but
yeah,
yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
I live on the upper middle fork of the Rockcastle River.
Okay,
So as a matter of fact, if you want to locate me on the map, I'm not going to tell you where I'm from. But if anybody knows anything about topo maps or anything like that, if you want to find me, look at the upper middle fork. It's called Indian Creek of the Rockcastle River, and it's the northernmost part of the Cumberland River watershed. So
okay,
where I live, it's kind of split. I'm in the Cumberland River watershed. I can drive 4 miles north, and I'm in the Kentucky River watershed. So the
I got you.
county where I live is kind of split half and half.
I guess
So
you've heard of the Licking River.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It
in the
gets out of the
Licking.
banks every now and then, don't it?
Yeah, I'm in the Licking River watershed.
Okay, yeah.
See, it empties out right up there around Newport, close to Cincinnati. That's where it empties out into the Ohio.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know a little
man.
bit about that because I was a deckhand. I actually worked on the Cumberland for a lot of times with barges and boats and stuff.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Oh yeah,
Kind of,
yeah. I done that for about 12, 13 years.
yeah. What was y'all hauling?
I worked for Marathon Petroleum out of Catlettsburg,
Oh,
Kentucky.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So we was hauling diesel and unleaded fuel and jet fuel and kerosene and whatever
Yeah, man. Yeah.
tank barges.
Yeah. No, that's kind of where I'm from, and I'm proud to be a part of this. This old school, man. I mean, that's where it's at. A lot of people today, and I ain't dogging on nobody. I never do. I'm live and let live. Let's all be what we are and get along. But a lot of people don't
Absolutely.
have a clue. A lot of people do not have a clue if electric went out or
Right.
they had to find water. I mean, if water went off, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
then I think that's what y'all about, the drive to survive. And
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's simple things that everybody needs to know, man.
Right. Well, I mean, just I'll give you an example on what you're saying there. The last 3 or 4, well, say two weeks, the temperature started dropping here in Kentucky, right? And
Yeah,
I've been seeing people come in get their winterization stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're at the hardware store, uh, buying up. I'm not too big on electric space heaters, but sometimes you can find one that's decently efficient, right? But they're buying that up. They're getting their weather stripping, plastic on windows, things like that. So that's preparedness right there. I mean.
Oh yeah, buddy. I mean, yeah, it's all about, and a lot of times we need to be prepared before. It's good to have
Mhm.
all these things, just like you was talking about, man. When it comes to gear, you got a great deal on that bag, man, for $10.
I think
And
so. I think
and
so.
that, I mean, that a big bag like that, I mean, you'll get a lot of use out of that, man. I mean, there ain't no sense in being a gear snob is what I call it, man. We need to be practical when we approach these things. You know, I don't put down anybody for what they carry or what they use I mean, if it works, man. Let's be practical. Let's be pragmatic about these things. You know, I mean, that's my philosophy. And, you know, we're all here to learn off one another. You know, if I can pick up a hack off you or you pick one up off me or, you know, anybody else out there, that's what it's all about, man.
I think
learning and sharing knowledge and, you know, and it's just helping one another out, man. I mean, that is old school. I mean, if you want to talk about preparedness, you know, I can go back to, of course, when my grandparents were alive. I mean, they would be called preppers today because they had to get that stuff for the winter. They had to kill hogs and put it back. And if they didn't grow it and can it and put it back, they didn't have it, man.
Yeah, I've said this on my live stream numerous times. My mama was a prepper when prepper wasn't cool. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I remember seeing my grandma get up before daylight, go jerk a chicken off the roost, wring its head, scald it, pluck it, have it fried with gravy for everybody, and with gravy and biscuits for breakfast, and then God bless her heart. This is what a good woman she was. She was, you know what part of chicken she'd eat?
I can guess.
The neck and the backbone. And she'd always eat last after she got up and done all that work. Now that's old school, man.
They ain't much there, are they?
That's taking care of you people. And you don't find it anymore, man. And
that's basically what I encountered in my childhood as well. And that, you know, you mentioned that just almost brings a tear to my eye. I tell you what, right there. But because you know, it reminds me of the same of mine. But the thing is my grandmother, my mama, that's what I called her. I found out just the other day. Of course, she was like 15 when she got married, right? But this was, you know, that's just how it is back. Exactly. Well, I found out that she wasn't much of a cook when she got married at first. Yeah. And it floored me. But the thing is, the reason why is because she grew up as a tomboy and was squirrel hunting all the time. She went out and done the hunting and fishing as a kid growing up. But then when it came, you know, when she womanhood and she got married to my papaw, you know, and her mother-in-law, my great grandmother, you know, graciously taught her what she knew about cooking, which was, you know, everything. And, you know, she became a decent cook. Cause I mean, I know as a grandmother, what I knew, she was an excellent cook at anything she wanted to cook, you know? So, I mean, but I just wanted to throw that in there because I've talked about how well, you know, how well rounded she was, you know, in this live stream before, but I just learned that not too long ago. But it didn't take her long to learn, and she was providing for her children and her spouse and this, that, and the other. And you know, things have changed in that regard as far as different generations. You know, ours. You know, sometimes I do. You know, here around the house, you know, it's equal. My wife does some things, I do some things. I mean, you know, my mama taught me how to do laundry, so I do most of the laundry here in this household. I've said that before, but I mean, I don't mind saying it
too. When my girls was growing up, and you know that's a good point you made there about your grandmother and how she learned how to cook. That's how everybody learned how to cook, man. Somebody had to teach them. I mean, that stuff don't just miracle up in your mind.
Exactly.
You know, you got to have people to teach.
I mean, either someone took them under their wing and taught them, or they stood there and watched someone, and you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the only way anybody can learn is to watch or read or whatever. But, you know, we'll go back to times when I was on the river. I worked out of the engine room a lot of times, you know, trying to learn about mechanics and stuff like that. And sometimes them old engineers, they turn their back and wouldn't let you see what they're doing. So they think you trying to take their job or something like
Yeah.
that. But there was some out there that was willing to teach you, the tricks of the trade and this, that, and the other to keep you going on, keep you, on that drive to survive,
Mhm.
like we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I liked to hang around the old men. You catch the old men downtown sitting around whittling and
Whittling, yeah.
pull out your pocket knife and sit down and whittle with them, and them spitting backer and trading knives and telling big tales and stuff. That's how I learned how to light a fire. Pack a pine knot. If you want a fire, pack a pine knot with you.
There you go. Yeah.
Call it fat wood now,
Yeah.
but that's how I learned to start a fire.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
always like to hang around the
Pine
old
knot,
folks.
fat word. I've heard it called both. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I probably got my first BB gun when I was 6 years old. Got my first 22 when I was probably about, I don't know, 9 or 10. My first shotgun, I bought them down there at my uncle had a hardware store downtown where I live at, and I got them off him, and started hunting, man. Just I mean, that's basically probably the same way you were. I mean, there weren't much to do around here. We got 3 channels, but 3, 4. We got 3 Lexington channels, and KET and WBIR. You probably didn't get that out in Knoxville. We got to watch Kaz Walker every morning. If you want to have a good time, look up Kaz Walker sometime on YouTube and look at his message to thieves on there. You get a kick out of that. But
I seen that post. I think that you might have had.
Kaz was a big coon hunter, and I'd watch that farm at Homeyer every morning. He'd talk about his coon dogs getting out, and so he'd say if somebody else lost a dog. He was a real character, a politician. Knocked a man out one time in a Knoxville City Council meeting.
Is that right? I wonder what type of.
He's something else.
I had heard of him.
Yeah. He had stores in Tennessee, Virginia, and Kentucky.
Okay. I wonder what breed of coonhound he kept. Was it like Walker?
I
Red
sure
Bone?
don't know. There's one story they told about him, said he got out and I don't know if it come a hard rain or he got lost. Said he froze to death yet. He huddled up with them dogs under a cliff and they kept him warm. But he was a tough.
I guess that's. Yeah, I'd seen something that you had posted over there, and I kind of watched it a little bit there before the stream started.
Oh yeah. If old Kaz, he's a straight shooter. If he thought it, he said it.
Right. Yeah, that's how a lot of people are in this state, or at least in the county I live in. My mother-in-law, my wife's mother, she don't have, what she thinks. It just comes right out of her mouth, and if she, she'll tell you what she thinks of you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, looked like you froze up just a little bit.
Might be that allergy medicine.
Po' Boy Adventures.
He's been fierce. I've had ear infection for a while and trying to get over it. Seems like it's been rough this year for the pollen and such.
Yeah. Po' Boy Adventures. He's from Kentucky. I'm not sure if you knew that. He said I think he's asking about the man you was talking about there, Kaz. Said, ain't he the one that said he ain't going to take to nobody coming in the store and trying to steal a woman's pocketbook or something like that?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, he's on it there. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
And Po' Boy thinks you might be close to him by the way you described where you live there.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, well, it's good. Everybody's getting a good dose of hillbilly tonight, ain't they?
I think they are.
There's probably some. you might ought to run subtitles on the screen here. A lot of people might not understand what we're saying, Heath.
I know you're right. I know you're right there,
Yeah.
but I don't know. The thing is my accent might have left me a little bit because being in the military and stuff, I've been to different places, but I've always wanted to be kind of an announcer type person. When I grew up, I always wanted to be on the radio, and I've mentioned that here on the live stream before too. And so that's kind of why I do this live stream. So sometimes I can, I sound like I'm from Eastern Kentucky, but sometimes I can, sound like, listening to maybe, say Dick Clark or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's a good combination. Dick had a good long run, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going to Iron Antler Adventures. They joined us. I didn't see them come in, but hello to you there, Iron Antler. That's another good channel there. They do a lot of great things. They do a lot of metal detecting stuff, things like that. Miss Tina Ladybug. I'm not sure if she's still with us, but hello to you, Tina. I did see hurry up. Miss Deanna said she was about on her way or close to home. I didn't want her to rush or anything. Take her time. We can have her on. We'll have plenty of time to have her on here.
Yeah, she's tied up in traffic in Knoxville.
I've been in Knoxville too. I've been on the Tennessee River quite a few times when I worked out there on the inland waterways, is what I call it. I just I used to work construction before I got that job, and I applied for it. Went online. That was around the time when you could start being able to look for jobs online. Around that time, I got on the job for Marathon, and I applied, and they asked me to come down and for an interview, and done all the paperwork, and I done that for like 12 years. It's a different life, I tell you, right? It's not just a job; it's kind of a lifestyle because you live right there on that boat for about a month at a time. So and that helps you a lot too, because that with the Boy Scouts, being in the Army, and that right there taught me how to do a lot of knots.
Oh, exactly. All these life experiences add up, man. And and that's the whole thing. I think we need to be lifetime learners. And always be open and listen. I mean, does it hurt to listen to anybody? I'm willing to listen to anybody. I may not agree with them, or I'll always be polite.
Exactly.
To a point until they get to insult me or something, and then it's time to walk away. But we can all learn off each other. That's what it's all about, man. And
that's what I'm willing to do.
When we're talking about being outside and doing things outside, I've read many books. I love to read. I don't even watch television.
Right, I don't either much.
I gave that up, which I didn't watch much to begin with, but I hadn't watched any television in probably 2 years. I got the mountain news on my, I got the mountain news app, and I can hit that and know what's going on.
Exactly. And, I know what you're talking about when you say the mountain news.
And I got, on. There's certain people that I listen to that's more credible than what you'd say the mainstream media would be right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't much bother with television, but anyhow, we can all pick up little nuggets of wisdom from somebody, and they know nothing. And then you got to put that into application. You can read all that stuff. You can learn. You can sit there with the best teachers, but if you don't get out and get dirt time, man,
right.
That ain't doing you no good, because when you get out and you get that dirt time, that's what it's all about. That's when things happen that you wouldn't think that would happen. And then you have to find a solution to that problem while you're in the middle of it. A lot of times I go out by myself. I'm miles away from the house. Man, you got to be careful.
Right.
That's the worst I ever got hurt in my life. And I was sober, let me say that.
Mm-hmm.
Down here at my house, I'm up here at my mom's right now, but I was down at my house and I stepped off a 4-inch. It went from my porch to the driveway. It was a 4-inch step, and my foot
Mm-hmm.
turned sideways, and I snapped my foot, broke two.
Mm.
The official word for it are metatarsals. Basically, I broke
Right.
2 toes right in the middle,
Right.
and I saw laid on the ground there and saw it black, crawled in the house. That's when my dad was still alive, and before he got Alzheimer's. I said, Dad, you need to come help me, take me to the hospital. I said, I broke my foot. And he said, are you sure? I said, I'm pretty sure. He said, I don't believe you have. You probably just sprung it. I said, Daddy, come on, take me to the hospital. He said, well, I've been out working. He said, let me take a shower and wash my hair. Well, the time he got down there, my foot's done swelled up like a hat band. And finally, he took me to the hospital, and it was so swelled up. Then they told me it's broke. They had to put it in the cast. Then I had to come back and they had to break it and then reset it. So,
Wow.
Make a long story short, you can get hurt doing little things, not paying attention.
Exactly.
And that's where the situational, I'll get out here in a minute. Situational awareness comes in.
Yeah.
You got to
Exactly.
pay attention, man.
Mm-hmm.
The worst I've ever got hurt is, I fell down mountains and stuff and got up and had a few scratches on me. But, little things like that little things, not paying attention for 1 second or 1 minute can check you out. And you get checked out and you're a couple miles away from the house by yourself, you're in trouble, man.
I agree.
If you can't get a cell signal.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We got Deanna in the backstage here. We're going to bring her up, okay?
Yeah, man, bring her up.
All right.
Hey, how are you guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry about the background. I just got home. Traffic is bad. I guess there was an accident on 75, so it took me like 3 hours to get home from work.
Oh, you're fine. There's Miss Deanna, guys. No hurry. We were talking about her. Yeah, if you want to, you can maybe go ahead and give a little bit about your background or whatever right now.
Okay, I'm living kind of a boring life. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I moved here to Knoxville, Tennessee about 15 years ago. I left Michigan to get away from all the snow and ice. So what do? I come here and I take up winter hiking. I mean, whatever, but I've been hiking for about 5 years now, and I teach map, compass, backpack classes, and pretty much, help someone who's on the search and rescue, how to, help people to not get lost in the woods, to survive. You hear all the stories about people getting lost and such, and and I'm thinking, if that was me, I could probably live like a day or two, but survive like a week out there, probably not. So I met Soup Bean online, on Facebook. He friended me and we got talking, and, so he kind of took me under his wings and teach me a lot of stuff. So.
Well, you taught me a lot of stuff, Deanna knows all about hammocks. I started out hammock camping, and not the best hammocks ever was, which most people start in tents.
Right.
And then I've been back on the ground now for about 4 years because I let the dog sleep in the tent with me. I can't get a dog in a hammock.
Right.
Yeah.
They make good foot warmers too of winter.
Right.
Yeah.
I started off in a tent, but I just could never get comfortable, and so I, ended up going to hammocks, and I love it.
Yeah.
And
She's
got
a nice hammock set up, man.
You can see on my quilt. You can see on my quilts, like in the background here, hanging up. So my.
Oh, okay. That's what that is. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
Those are my 0-degree quilts. So, yeah, they weigh in at like little. Well, they're less than 2 pounds each. They're about 1.9 pounds. So for 0 degrees, so they're ultralight.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I have done some hammock camping, but not to the extent to where I can say I'm an expert at it or whatever. But I do enjoy it. But I enjoy ground camping. Whether it is in a tent, sometimes it's just under the open stars, but you never know. but you know, it is good to have you both here. Just
Yeah, thank you for
you
having
know,
us.
oh, exactly right, exactly. I know, just recently you and I, no hurry, Deanna, there. We've just kind of recently got introduced, and I do appreciate you. Hit me up here on YouTube and different
Absolutely.
places, and and enjoy being building on a friendship here.
Right.
Just like I did with Soup Bean. I mean, we're from the same state here, but you're right down there in Knoxville, even though
Right. It's
and
about an hour and a
Michigan,
half drive.
right? And Michigan, I know some people from that area as well. We talked about that I worked on the river here. A few years. I used to be a deckhand. I had a first mate that was from Ypsilanti,
Hmm.
Michigan.
Yeah, that's way up there.
Yeah. Backwoods Barbarian just joined us. He said he mostly hammock camps too. Winter hammock camping is his favorite. Dog sleeps underneath him. But Backwoods Barbarian, that's a great channel. If you haven't ever seen that, he's up there around Newfoundland, Canada. Um, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. But he's Canadian and he's got a great, great channel from foraging wild edibles to bushcraft or some traditional type stuff. I've seen him out there in a big fur and sleeping in a log. So he does some great stuff.
That would be cool to learn.
Yeah, I've watched a few of his videos. I really enjoyed them.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah,
familiar
I
with
mean,
him. All right.
yeah, we're friends on Facebook.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah,
Good deal. Well, of course you are. You're friends with everybody over there, Soup Bean.
I don't reckon. Some people don't particularly care for me around here.
No, I can't see how that could be true. But I
Yeah.
know I know Miss April, Nature's Wild Playground.
Oh yeah. I have a lot of fun over on there. I've just been interacting with them some. That's some fine folks over there, man.
I think
I
so.
really enjoy their content too.
I think so as well. I do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if whatever y'all want to talk about, just I know we y'all both give a little bit of your background, whatever it is. I mean, I know Soup Bean. He you post a lot of great pictures over there on Facebook of your hiking, camping trips. Uh, would you say that as far as you all plan on, if I'm not mistaken, you all plan on trying to do some type of collaboration as far as a YouTube channel? Is that what y'all trying to go to get
Oh
started? Is
yeah,
that
yeah. Well, it's in the works. It's in the
right?
works. Hopefully, we'll have some content out. Uh, Maybe the end of this month. At the latest, we'll have something out before Thanksgiving. Hopefully, and you will see Deanna and myself on there. We're going to bring on a lot of special guests. I mean,
That,
I'm a jack of all trades, master of
right.
none.
Yeah.
We're going to bring in some people that are what I call professionals. Uh, okay, we're going to bring in a gal, just happens to be my daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She does wilderness medicine. She's been to base
Okay.
camp Mount Everest. She's been in the Andes up in Peru. She's been on the Pacific Coast Trail. She's hiked the Appalachian Trail, the entire length of the Appalachian Trail, all the way from Maine to Georgia. And she's just an amazing gal. She works at 2 hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
She works half time at Roanoke, Virginia, and then she works up at Maysville. Her parents live in Boone County.
Okay.
And we're going to have her do a whole thing probably be this winter. We'll run it on first aid, on basic first aid. Which again, that's one. Let's get right down to it. Before we get in the woods, there's a few things we need to know. I've
Hmm.
seen people. I'm sure Deanna can attest to this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the time. I mean, you
Yeah.
see people all the time. And you thought, how in the world are these people let alone? If they get lost, are they going to make it?
Yeah.
How are they going to make it for the day for the hike?
Exactly. I mean, people climb out, LeConte, it's 4 miles up, 4 miles down, never hiked a day in their life, and no food, no water. I mean, I think, like it's no big deal,
Right.
so,
Well,
know,
yeah. I mean,
then they get in trouble and, they don't realize, it's a lot harder than, walking flat ground. So,
exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know a fella that comes into the hardware store where I work. He told me the other day he was, he wasn't hiking, but he was on a kayak trip not too long ago, and him and his girlfriend, and didn't have any type of kit whatsoever. And I mean, the thing is if you know you're going to go kayaking, you should
right.
take something, right? I mean,
Exactly.
if you know for a fact that you got a plan to go kayaking, in 2 weeks prior to the time, whatever, you got time to plan, get that
Right.
thing. I mean, there are situations where you might not have everything you need, but then you can improvise if you're skilled woodsman, if you're skilled outdoorsman on things, that you might find right there. But, if have something. They didn't have nothing. They lost when what they had, their cell phone, it went in the creek, it
Yeah.
went in the river. I mean, they got
Yeah.
dumped somehow. They was able to find a um like an overhang, in an area where they could kind of have some type of shelter. But they didn't have
Mhm.
no means of heat, no means of creating a fire. They didn't know how to, do any type of friction fire, of
Yeah.
course, even if they had the materials to do so.
Right.
Uh, but but the thing is even if they had a kit, that could have got lost too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's good to have some knowledge, and if you don't have a kit, but it's also good to have a kit.
Oh,
Right. Exactly. Well, the biggest thing is just, to have something to get you by, always leave, your itinerary with, your someone who, knows to call 911 if you're not back at a certain time.
Exactly.
It's like
Exactly. I agree with that.
I always leave a copy of my map in the car, because I don't know how it is in Kentucky, but here in Tennessee, I mean, they can legally break into your car to find like clues or, so if
Hmm.
they're going to break into my car, I'm going to make it easy for them.
Yeah,
They know what I'm wearing. They know what time I left, know what time I, was supposed to be back, so I mean, like my husband, if he knows that if he don't hear from me about 11 o'clock, he knows to call 911, so I mean, it's always good to make sure,
hmm.
someone knows where you're at.
Dutch Blackfeather, he has a question here. I don't know. See if y'all might have an answer of some sort, whatever. He says, um, question for the guest: more value is found where in traditional learning to live off the land or prepping?
I think they both need to be integrated. Personally,
Hmm.
it's all they go hand in hand. I wouldn't put well they you you can't prep unless you know the traditional skills, and
Hmm.
you really can't prep correctly, and you can't
Right.
apply the knowledge. So I mean, if if that makes any sense, if I am answering the question, I think one's as valuable as the other, especially today.
I
Uh,
think you're correct because,
yeah,
like we were talking about earlier, Soup Bean, our grandmothers, grandmas,
yeah.
the thing is what they were doing back then, they wasn't calling it prepping. That was just their life.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
Yeah.
I
the way
mean?
of life. There was no
They were
Walmart back
they were
then.
out there. They were gardening. They were canning
Yeah.
that garden. They were putting that, canning that stuff. They were raising their livestock for the kill.
Hmm.
They were raising their livestock not as a pet, but for the kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, and if you all follow my channel at all, you all know I got a young goat, a pygmy goat named Henry.
Yeah.
Um, well, he's a pet.
Mhm.
I mean, I can't say that he's probably going to be the channel mascot. But
Right.
back in the day, when they had livestock, and goats are livestock, but they were raising it for the kill. They were feeding it so they could fatten it up, to
Hmm.
feed them. I mean, basically.
Right.
Oh yeah. That used to
But
be a big deal when somebody have a hog killing. All the neighbors would come in and help. And I
mhm.
remember seeing that when I was a youngin'.
And they cut that fresh tenderloin out right there and fried up,
Yeah,
wouldn't
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that good back strap. Yes, sir.
they? Yeah,
That's what everybody
exactly.
has in mind.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean,
I had
I don't know anything about prepping, so I'm looking forward to learning a lot from you, from Soup Bean and, just, seeing where it goes, so.
Yeah,
well, I'll
we
tell you what. I
learned.
mean, we know you're a member of the group over there on Facebook,
Right,
so
right,
hopefully you'll be able to learn what you can. And always hit me up on a private messenger. I'm no expert
right.
at all anything, but
Yeah,
I'm willing to learn and what knowledge I do
absolutely.
have, I'm willing to give. So I
Right.
mean, you know,
That's all it is about learning and, learning together.
Yeah,
he got outdoors with Chris Garcia. They just joined us. Good to see you there.
Deanna peeled out her first squirrel about a month
Yeah, I
ago.
did.
She done a
Yeah,
good job too.
yeah,
Well, that's
Real good
awesome. That's
job.
awesome.
yeah. That was
That's,
pretty
that's
cool
And
to learn.
then she took them home and fried them up.
Yep, I sure did.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
really
that's good.
good.
It is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly how old I was the first time I had squirrel meat. Not old at all. Probably about 4, 5, 6, something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
But you know, and I mean, I'm not saying that's just right here in East Kentucky or East Tennessee or, I mean, there's probably all kind. I mean, maybe upstate New York that they probably squirrel hunt and I don't know. I mean, but I mean, there's rural places, country places in all the United States. So I mean, I think that mostly goes on in the rural area. I'll
Mhm.
agree with that, but I know it happened quite often in Eastern Kentucky anyway.
I tell you what taught me more when I was young about the woods, and I started doing this when I was about 12 till I got about 17. Got a car and got out and got interested in girls. You know how that stuff like that goes. And I kind of slacked off on my outdoors. But when I started out young, man. I went down and I started trapping. Went down to the hardware
Mhm.
store, started trapping and doing sets for foxes. I mean, I foxes, coons, whatever. That's when that's when a coon fur isn't worth that much right now. But
Right.
a big coon would bring, if you scanned out right, about $25. That was a lot of money
Yeah.
back in the early 80s,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
late
Exactly.
70s. And
Yeah.
a red fox back then, 50 bucks. Gray
Hmm.
about 40, and and that's where I learned a whole lot. That's where I learned how to track. By no means am I a professional tracker, but
Right.
you do those sets, and our buddy Enos, Zook. I like to watch Enos's
Hmm.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. He does a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Bluegrass trapping, I think it is.
oh yeah, man, good, another good Kentucky boy.
Mhm.
Another good Kentucky boy. Exactly
Yeah,
right.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, uh,
But he has a good background. He really does.
yeah. Yeah, and that's and I haven't trapped recently. I've still got my traps, but that's a world of knowledge that you could get as far as tracking. Uh,
Well,
you know,
that's my
not
thing on.
finding game trails, knowing where the game is,
Right.
and when I bushwhack a lot, when I do that, a lot of times I'll take deer trails or game trails. I follow them.
Mhm.
I'm sure you do that in the woods too. I mean, it's a lot better than going through a sawbarrow patch.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get on a
Exactly.
game trail and take off.
Hmm. Right. And the thing is whether you're trapping for fur or for food, the thing is that's passive hunting, or if you just throw out, say, some jugs for fishing or tie off some limb lines or whatever. I mean, the
Mhm.
thing is, you can go off and do other things while you got those lines out, and you can go back and check them, see what you
Right.
got.
Yeah.
Backwoods Barbarian, he's got a statement here. He says, the basis of any survivalist is being able to kill a defenseless animal and eat it.
That's
This is the
right.
biggest hurdle most people have issues getting over. That growth should happen before anything, in your opinion, in his opinion. Exactly right. It's my opinion
I
as well.
agree. I agree 100%. But you know what?
Mhm.
I can't remember a time in my life when I wasn't around that.
Right.
I mean, that was just, I was raised around here, and I had uncles and grandfather, and I was always with them, and that's just part of life. I mean, yeah, I mean, it takes somebody sick to, really get off on killing something, but I guess there's sick people out there, but it's natural, man. People's done it since the beginning of time. I mean, they ain't always been McDonald's, and they ain't always been these fast food joints or whatever. You had if you didn't grow it or kill it, you didn't have it, man.
All right.
They went to the store to get sugar, flour, salt.
Right. That's all they got. That's all they got.
And,
they had everything else at home.
Yeah. And if we can get back to that, we're doing very well.
Right.
And I agree with that statement 1%. It's you always I've had remorse after killing things, but you have to get over that hurdle, over that hump, and and know that you dispatch, you do a clean kill, you do a humane kill, you be a good sportsman, and and you do it ethically, and with that you don't have that many regrets.
I agree with that.
Down on that whole
even if that was there's times where I mean, even the family pet sometimes you have to do that, but it's that might be pulling at the heartstrings a little more, but I mean that sometimes that has to happen. But I mean,
sometimes you got to shoot old Yeller. I mean that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've never been able to do that. I always have one of my friends come over if I have to put down a loved animal. And then I'll go do
that's a good technique. That's a good technique as well.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, because if you spent that many years with something,
it's awful hard to
Oh, exactly. I can agree with that. I really can. But see, the thing is well, and I've mentioned this. My dad, he's a veterinarian, and he's still practicing at 72 years old almost. Still practicing today, 5 days a week, something like that. But I mean, he's done it a lot. So, when it comes to that, they're not his animals, but still he forms a relationship with them by seeing them, over the years, things like that.
Yeah.
I know our buddy there was right on point. I mean, that's the first thing. And you've definitely got to establish that as your baseline. And getting back to trapping, the first thing I ever trapped wasn't in a steel trap. My grandfather taught me how to whittle out a figure 4 deadfall and take a big flat rock and stick an apple on into that. And I caught rabbits in that, and a lot of possums.
Primitive type traps, yeah exactly.
So I mean, everybody needs to know how to whittle out a figure 4 deadfall. It's simple.
Yeah, a lot of notches and things, right?
Yeah, it isn't that bad. Yeah. I mean, you sit around and play with it, man. You just sit around. Again, it's dirt time. Study
dirt time.
I'm sure there's
dirt time.
This, plenty of people right here that's online in this group that can tell you how to do a figure 4 deadfall better than I could, and have used them more.
Exactly. I agree with that.
That's elementary. I mean, if you don't have a steel trap, you can always set a deadfall, or I don't think snares. Last time I checked, I don't think they're legal in Kentucky. But
right,
and I'm not telling anybody to break the law, but it might be a good thing to know how to use snares too. In a worst case scenario is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm not advocating anybody to go out here and break the law. Okay.
Oh, I know. Backwoods, he's got another statement here. It says another opinion of his that people don't like to hear. If you don't raise your kids to be capable to hunt and fish and trap and forage and farm, you're not actually raising them. Yep, I agree with that.
That's true, yeah.
That kind of brings me back to a topic because a while ago, Soup Bean, you mentioned McDonald's, and I was talking to my general manager at the store the other day. on how I remember, my generation. I'm 48 years old, so I grew up I was born in '74. I grew up through the '80s, and through the '90s, early '90s. I graduated in high school in '92. So, I'm 48 years old, almost
Mhm.
49. But I can remember having McDonald's growing up occasionally,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
occasionally. And I can remember, about the time I was able to eat my first Big Mac or say big sandwich, because I always got the smaller type stuff. And I was probably like 10 or 11, 12 years old. But, you know, that is, I mean, children nowadays, they probably eat McDonald's every day. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I got a great nephew, a niece. I'm not saying nothing about my niece, but their mother. But she's a good lady. But I mean, that's just how it is nowadays. I mean, kids are exposed to that fast food type stuff nowadays more. Not everybody, not all kids, but a lot of them. And you know, and the generation before me probably never had McDonald's.
All right.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. We had
So learning
when
how
I
to
grew
forage,
up, we had
learning some things. I mean, it's good. Go
we
ahead.
had to drive 30, 35 miles to find a McDonald's. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean, same here growing up. Now, I mean, we have one in the county I live in nowadays, but it's only been there since, from the time I've been an adult. But as a kid, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'd have to travel pretty good ways.
yeah. And he's exactly right about the kids. One thing that got me back, wanting to go out in the woods. I had my girls. They started fishing with me when they were 4 years old. I've got twin daughters. They're 20 now. Be 21 in April, and I started them out fishing when they were like 4.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I think if you look on my Facebook page, you can see some pictures of 4-year-old girls pulling that big slab bluegill out of a pond.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to bait the hook, but nevertheless, they was catching fish, man.
Right.
And
Mhm.
both of them had popped a squirrel by the time they got like 13-year-old. They'd killed a squirrel. They're the ones that got me back into my love for camping. We'd go out when they were on summer break. We'd be gone 3 weeks out of summer break, not at one time, but in different intervals. We might go to Big South Fork. We might go to the Breaks. Might go to Cumberland Gap. We started going to Red River Gorge, and it got so crowded that we don't even go there anymore. Who wants to go hiking in a place that, or camping out where you're running over people?
Right.
I want to be out in the wilderness.
Mhm.
Pretty much so. But we were gone a total. If you added all of it up, it'd be 3 weeks out of 2 months. So basically, almost a third of our time was spent in the brush.
Right.
And they would sit around. Of course, it was supervised, and they would play with fire. And my daughters can start a fire, no problem, man.
All right.
Absolutely.
They know my daughters know more and can shoot straight and do more than I'd say be safe to say than a lot of grown men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would be safe to say that too. Just by, I mean, I've seen some of your posts, and I've seen, that you do teach your daughters or have taught your daughters along the way.
Yeah.
How,
And
how
they
it is.
even help their boyfriends some too.
Right. There you go.
All right.
Let me show you how to shoot there, old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Backwoods said people need to get back to eating food. People turn their nose up to me eating June bugs and raw liver and bone marrow, but they can't pronounce half the chemicals in their chips and soda. Exactly
That's
right
right.
there.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. That's a fact. People,
Yeah.
I think a lot of these inflammatory diseases, a lot of stuff people's got to eating this junk.
Yeah. It is.
Hey, I drink 2 things: coffee and water. The morning I get up, I have coffee. Rest of the day, I'm on water. Probably drink half a gallon of water a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like to eat. I'm not saying don't abstain completely from fast food. Yeah, I like a big greasy burger every now and then too.
All right.
But cook. eat stuff that don't have all this junk, and grow your own if you can.
Exactly.
And put stuff up. I mean, you're not getting. You know what's on. It's just like, of course, my apple trees didn't do worth a dime this year. But what little apples I did get, I knew they weren't any pesticides on them. They were organic.
Right.
It's hard to grow a garden up here because I live on a rock on the side of a mountain.
Right.
It's unless I do a raised bed. But it's good to know what goes in your food, and God knows the preservatives and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's a lot of this, and I think that's what's causing a lot of cancer and
Right.
a lot of inflammatory diseases and problems, and people are just a lot of people are malnourished and dehydrated walking around here.
Well,
Half the people I know are dehydrated and don't even know it.
Oh, yeah.
I average of a summer, I'll drink over a half gallon of water a day. Of a winter, I average drinking a half gallon of water a day. And that's still a real big Berkey. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't even drink city water.
Mm-hmm.
I run them chemicals out. And, that's. And, you take if the grid goes down, you got a big Berkey, you can go to the creek and dip that water, strain it, pour it right down in the Berkey. And you got water, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, you're talking about the chemicals and whatnot. I mean, it's just. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just the thing is, back in the day when they would, grow your own stuff. I mean, you always had that organic stuff, and I mean. And that's just, it has to be a lot with, you was talking about diseases, maybe cancer and things like that. And I think it has, that a lot of it probably does stem from all that. I mean, with the way lifestyles and things.
That's just a theory. I can't prove that, but
no, me neither. But I mean, I do.
Nevertheless, I'm going to stand on that statement that it's healthier.
Right. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm just saying, I agree with you.
And like I said, occasionally, it's not all things, nothing in, all things in moderation. Okay.
All right.
Exactly.
It's all right. It's all right to go out and take the family. I'm not saying don't do that. What I am saying is limit your exposure to stuff that's going to hurt you.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Dutch Blackfeather said he eats the same thing for lunch every day, have for 30 years, bacon and eggs, 2 slices of toast.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Jefferson Einstein joined us. I didn't exactly see that you popped up there, Jefferson, but I appreciate you being here. Dutch, he skips breakfast and eats a late lunch and a late supper.
That's what I do. I do one big meal in the middle of the day. I do a lot of, and I eat a lot of fats, man. I pretty much eat what I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Fat meat is like our brother there that eats bacon. Hey, I'm all for bacon. I love bacon.
Yeah, right.
Fat's good fat. We need good fats. I mean, that was the main thing that people lived on, back in the day. Fat meat.
Right.
Right.
It's now again, you can overdo anything, but I pretty much eat what I want. But
it's a matter of disproportion.
That's where the moderation comes
Mm-hmm.
in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the moderation comes in, and I'm not a health expert or anything, but I'm getting up in age, don't have any real health problems, serious health problems. Let me say that, and man has to be proactive. You got to take care of yourself, and eating properly is part of that. And I agree with the brother there. I do, and Deanna runs with me too. And I don't know if I'm starving her to death or she's just eating like I am, but she eats about the same as I do.
Yeah. Now I get up about 4 a.m. and have at least 2 cups of coffee by then. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm about 5 a.m. Before I get to work, and coffee. To start off the day. Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually try and go to the gym about between 3 and 4 a.m. whenever, work allows when I'm not, working
Oh
out
yeah,
in
okay.
Kentucky. So yeah, get there before everyone else does.
Wow,
So
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's good. It's good to go to the gym. I mean, that's something I've probably um kind of neglected here in the last little
yeah,
bit, but I don't really. I mean, in the rural area I live in, I don't
right.
have a gym close by, really, but I have access
We
to
don't
weights.
either. That's another 35 miles to the gym.
Yeah,
But get out. You get out.
Oh
You can
yeah,
substitute that gym. You get out with a
right.
steel farm boss, and you cut white oak, and and then you season that out, and you go to splitting that white oak with a maul.
right.
You've been to the gym, baby.
Yeah, no
That's right.
kidding.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
how it works.
yeah,
Yeah, get that
Just
cardio up.
yeah. And
what?
walking.
Yeah,
Everybody,
walking is good.
it's
Yep.
Oh
over
yeah.
any time. Heath, have
Oh
you ever
yeah.
thought about? I know where you said you were working hardware lumber store. You ever think how many miles you clock in a day just walking around that store? If you had something on you that could measure that,
Oh
Oh
oh.
yeah.
I got a counter watch
yeah.
that I wear. So yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
probably at least you know 15, 16,000 steps at the minimum most of the
Oh
time
yeah,
through a
and
day.
and you're doing squats. I know you got to bend down, pick stuff up. You got to lift
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
got to do stock inventory. I worked in the store before. I know all about it. You
No,
go up
you're
and
right. You're right.
down
Yeah.
sideways, packing
Exactly right.
heavy stuff,
Hmm.
working a dolly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey,
Exactly.
that's the gym, man.
That's it. That's it. I mean, I know I get plenty of exercise enough. I mean, I probably could get more. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
Well,
but the thing is,
we all got room for improvement,
yeah,
Hmm.
the thing is,
including me.
right, exactly. I just trying to catch up with the chat there, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's talk about some venison or something. Oh, Miss April's talking about loving caribou over venison. I may get shamed for that one. Elk is probably. Oh, Grateful Checker said elk is probably their favorite than moose. There's a whole different conversation going on here in the chat, talking about some different caribou, venison.
Hey, that's all. I had a buddy he used to go out west, and I've had some of that stuff. I've had, of course, deers. And you can get an elk
Hmm.
for getting hunt in Eastern Kentucky.
Yep.
Right.
Now, they reintroduced elk here, but
Mm-hmm.
I've never had caribou. I've had some black bear, and we've got bear season now in Kentucky. The county adjoining
Yeah.
us, you can hunt bear. Uh, I saw some bear scat last time I went squirrel hunting up on the hill.
I was getting ready to ask you.
I'm right in the middle of the Daniel Boone National Forest,
Right.
and they're
Yeah, we got.
population's coming up.
Yeah, one of my coworkers has a bear every morning on his trail cam.
Yeah.
There you go.
He at his feeder.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm not much on feeding. I mean, some people do that, but I don't know. I don't have feeders or anything when I go deer hunting. I don't try to bring them in. I just try to track them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But
I'm not opposed to anybody that does feed them,
right,
but I'm not going to waste that money on them.
right.
Uh, I I'm in a financial situation where I can't afford to, really to fill up a deer feeder right now.
Right.
But I can
Well,
go
I
up.
mean,
Last time I went squirrel hunting, I saw more deer than I did squirrel. Okay,
mhm.
so I got their address. I
Population
know
is
where they're at.
Yeah.
right. The population is pretty good here in the state. I mean, if you
Yeah,
think about it, I mean, because probably more than really it should be. But
yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, say in the '70s. I mean, and I just know this from people a little bit older than me, like say my dad, and said that the population for deer was very scarce. I mean, in
it
the county I
was.
live in, in the county I live in, it was non-existent. They had to go. A lot of times,
It's almost
people,
the same here too, Eve.
right? I mean, so a lot of people would go even out of state sometimes to deer hunt, like say south of Tennessee, like Tennessee and places.
Or they
But
go to Indiana, Western Kentucky. That was.
right,
But
right.
now, they come right in my. I
Oh
have
yeah.
my yard, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
so they're it's and that's people. People's practicing conservation, and we've got some good. I think here in Kentucky, we've got a good, Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife. We've got a real
I
excellent
agree. I agree.
Kentucky Department of Fish and
I agree.
Wildlife.
I agree with that.
And buy your hunting license, people. Buy your hunting license.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't that much. And that's how these guys. That's how the state gets their income. A lot of it is sales of hunting and fishing license. Buy them. And it always pays to. I always get my hunt license as soon as they come out. And when they expire in February, I always get mine because you can kill a coyote year round in Kentucky. And if you're out on government land, you got a rifle, you get stopped. That they could, if they wanted to, they could take your rifle. But if you've got that hunt license, it costs about $20-something bucks, maybe 22, I think that I gave for it. I can say, well, that's for coyotes. And you produce your hunt license, and you no problem, no hassle.
Right. I just saying, backwoods barbarian, he's getting ready to go on his nightly walk with his lovely wife. So he'll be back later if we're still on. She needs to walk. She needs her walk, or she gets cranky. He says. But yeah, I mean, we been a good show tonight. We've had a lot of good topics. I'm not sure. I guess you don't mind if I call you Deanna or whatever
Right,
it is.
Deanna.
But,
yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if you got anything you want to add about what you got going on, I mean, you can go ahead and feel free to right now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just really excited to start a YouTube channel. Even though most of my stuff is in hiking, but I mean, learning to start a fire, how to how to not get lost in the woods, whether you're hunting or just hiking, whatever. Just how to survive. There's so many people. I hear so many stories about people getting lost and search and rescue, having to go out and find them. And just to learn how to build a shelter or foraging in the woods. All that stuff is important, whether you're hiking or learning to prep or anything. So
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to learning a lot from Soupy and
Well,
exactly.
We're going. I've learned a lot off Deanna.
Yeah.
It's like I said, we all learn off one another. That's
right.
What makes like with Frontier Survival, with all these other groups, everybody's changing knowledge. And all of us being humble and looking for somebody can do it better. Show me, man. I want to know how to do it the best. And that's what it's all about. It isn't my way or the highway. We got to have these minds. We got to, and that's why we're going to have a lot of experts on. People that I call professionals. You don't have to look at me all the time. I'm sure Deanna's a whole lot more pleasant to look at than I am. But you're not going to see me all. It's not going to be about me. It's not going to be about Deanna. It's going to be about us getting the message out, using what we know and finding these folks that we've already got access to that know a whole lot more than we do, and getting this information out in the community, hopefully in an entertaining and timely, a timely format. We've been discussing about how long we're going to run and all that, and we're kind of bugs out of that. We're in the process, and there's a lot of things we don't know right now. We're going to try stuff, see if it works. But
Yeah.
we are going to have, I mean, probably half of our shows will be bringing other people in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be mostly like live stream type stuff or edited content, or
It'll
just...
be edited. Most of it, it'll be a little bit of, but most of it will probably be edited content.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're
Okay.
just kind of starting off. It's a matter of learning,
Well,
what to
that's
do.
fine.
And
Oh, I
yeah.
mean, it's what I mean. That's exactly
Yeah.
how it should be. But do you have a channel name yet?
No, we haven't come up
No,
with
not
that
yet. So
Okay.
But you,
Well, we
I,
look
tell you
forward
what,
to it.
I promise you, brother, you'll be the first to know when we figure it
yeah,
out.
that's right.
Okay. Well, I mean, that'd be good to yeah. Well, I'll be glad to be able to hear what it is, but I'll definitely be a subscriber. Hopefully, number
I
one
appreciate
subscriber.
that.
But yeah. But if y'all don't have anything else, I mean, we can. I mean, I'll probably just be cut the stream short here pretty soon. I do appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah, thank you for
And,
having us.
We'll
Yeah,
definitely have you on again.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on again anytime. Just hit me up
Okay.
on social media if you'd like to come on, or if you're in the, anytime we do a live stream on Friday night, most of the time we'll drop the link and let anybody come on if they have anything that they want to discuss, if they got a channel, any updates they got with that channel. So, we always do that. But
Okay.
I'm going to probably, just say our goodbyes for now, and we do appreciate you, but we're going to, probably, say goodbye to everyone here and for tonight and get ready for next week. But you all have a good night, and we do appreciate you.
Hey,
Thank
too,
you.
brother.
Thank you for having us.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
You're
Been an
welcome there,
honor,
Sir
man.
David.
Been an honor.
You're welcome. You holler at me anytime, either one of you, okay?
All righty.
Same here.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay.
You have a good evening, brother.
You too.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, there's Soup Bean and No Hurry, Miss Deanna right there. They're going to start a channel soon. We don't know the name of that channel, but I think it'll be a pretty good information. Soup Bean, he's from right here in my home state of Kentucky. He knows, if you could tell, he's got a lot of knowledge, but he's willing to learn anything that he might not know. But I'm afraid to say there's probably nothing out there that he doesn't know. And Miss Deanna, she seems like, when it comes to hammock camping and this, that, and the other, and hiking, kind of good knowledge there as well. It's been a great night here tonight, guys. What do y'all think about the vibe tonight? What do y'all think? Been a good show tonight? Let me know in the comments, and we'll continue on here just for a little while. And if there's anything else, any questions anyone's got for me, or anybody got any questions for anybody in the chat, feel free to announce them right now. We will go ahead and drop the link if anybody might want to come up that's with us here in the chat and discuss anything that they got going on, if they have a channel or if they got a Facebook group or page or anything they got going on. We will say this that we didn't say earlier as far as with the updates. It will be soon that we'll be going live on Facebook as well. We're going to try an experiment where we're going to go live just on Facebook and see how well we'll do. We're taking the Dynamite Show to Facebook on the Frontier Survival brand page over there. And then soon after that, we're going to do a simulcast where we're going to be simulcasting on Facebook and YouTube live at the same time. We're going to see how many people we can get in here. Jefferson Einstein, I think I said hello to you earlier, but he's saying take care, everybody. Good deal. I appreciate you being here, Jefferson. I did see Steve Stumpy here earlier, so hello to you, Steve Stumpy. Not sure if he's still with us or not. Been a great show tonight. We've had Soup Bean on here, my good friend from Eastern Kentucky. We had Miss Deanna, who's down there in Tennessee. We've had a lot of good people here tonight. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, we love you. We want you to continue having the drive to survive and just, watch us and see what we put out from here until next week. And we'll see you next time. And just remember, guys, you all got to have drive to survive.